So, this morning, I walked my son to school. For anyone that doesn't know me, I live in St. Louis, Missouri, and it snowed the last couple days. My son had 2 snow days from school off and already had Monday off. It's Thursday, so there's snow everywhere on the ground. And I told him, wear your snow boots. And he said, well, I don't want to wear snow boots because then I have to bring shoes, and it makes my backpack heavier, and it's already so heavy because it's a violin day. And so I was like, okay, maybe bring extra socks because your feet are going to get wet. So he brought some extra socks, but we're walking out. I think he really had realized just how snowy it was gonna be because people haven't been walking around in the snow in our neighborhood full of old people, you know. Um, so it's very snowy here, and we have to go up a little grass hill usually to get to the sidewalk on the main street, and it was just covered in snow. And he was like, "Oh no, no, should I turn back around and get my snow boots?" And I'm like, "Dude, we can't turn back around now. we already left for school. We gotta keep going." And so I was like, what we can do is I'll step in the snow first, and it'll push it down because it's pretty powdery right now, and then you can step in my flattened footprint. And so we're making our way on this snow-covered sidewalk, and he's walking behind me in my footprints, and got me thinking about how it was just a really beautiful physical representation of the metaphorical ways in which our children do follow in our footsteps, and how we pave the way for them, how we go through our own struggles to lessen theirs. And it was very interesting too, because as we're walking, I suddenly see this other track of footprints near where I'm walking, and I think, well, I should walk in those ones because they're already kind of flattened, or I could make them larger so that my son has a larger spot that he can step in, than besides just my footprint, because we're about the same foot size. He's only 10, but and that instantly kind of came as a metaphor to me for the ways in which, even though our children are following in our footsteps, we are following in the footsteps of other people, whether it's our parents or whoever raised us, our guardians, or a good teacher that we had, or someone who has been a hero of ours. We're walking in their footsteps, and it kind of specifically got me thinking about my spiritual path. And I may be creating the footsteps for my son to follow in, but the path I'm walking has been walked infinitely. Many, many, many people before me have walked it, and I can choose to follow directly in their footsteps as best I can. My foot shape will be a little bit different, but instead I thought, well, why not step right next to theirs and make the path a bit bigger for everyone, right? And so it was just interesting, and it kind of got me thinking about how I read something the other day, and it said one of the tricks to basically integrating spiritual into the physical, and operating in them simultaneously, is that when we do the mundane, we also recognize that there's a sense of sacredness to it, making the mundane sacred, rather. And so something as mundane as walking in the snow to school meant something really beautiful and sacred and divine to me in that moment. And I would love to keep having moments like that, and I'm very excited to keep having moments like that of illumination through the simple task of living, because I think that's the path, right? It's finding the intangible answers in the tangible, right? Bit of a paradox, right? But that's life. Life is a paradox, because to live is to only be guaranteed death, right? So it's a paradox. But yeah, so it kind of got me thinking, I didn't have to look for that stuff. I just had to not stop myself from thinking it. It kind of just came to me, that sacred realization with it. And then too, it kind of got me onto, because sacred sounds like sacrament, right? They're related and whatnot. And so I thought about, what does a sacrament mean, really? Kind of like an offering, right? Like a sacrifice. Sacrament is something you consecrate to the divine, right? And it's something in your normal life where it kind of got me thinking too about the concept of karma yoga, where we are putting into the world, we are chopping the wood and carrying the water, as Ram Dass says, but it's not for us, and it's not to reap the fruits of our labors even. It is as a sacrament to the divine, as a testament to whatever God you serve, right? And so I want to live my life more in that way. And I know I come across as like very non-spiritual here, smoking a fucking cancer stick, but I don't know. I just really wanted one, I guess. Great discipline, Lolly, right? No, I don't know. It also got me thinking too about the sacredness of burning tobacco that many people in this country used to do before white people came and murdered and kidnapped them all and whatever else, and you know, just basically genocided the real Americans that were here before us, before we were American. And I think, though, my answer to quitting nicotine, because I do want to stop at least smoking it. Not that I want to ingest it any other way. Sorry, that came off weird. But I wouldn't be opposed to, like, burning it, per se, as, like, an offering of sorts, I guess. But I would like to stop ingesting nicotine myself. And I think the way that I can do that is not by just telling myself I have to quit cold turkey and never again, never again. I think the way I do that is the way I've been doing it this last week with food. I haven't been getting rid of things, I've been adding better things. And that whole mentality of addition rather than subtraction, I find it more hopeful, more positive, more sustainable. Because you can always add things, and if you don't like the addition, you don't have to keep it. But with subtraction, it's hard because there's a lot of shame and guilt if we subtract something from our lives to try to make it better, and then we go back to it, right? It's embarrassing, and it's shameful, and we feel bad about ourselves. We feel guilty, and all this stuff. And so those cycles of those negative emotions of holding myself to an impossible standard of, yeah, I'm just never gonna eat, like, cheese again. Oh, okay. That's not realistic. So instead I'm adding in the softer cheeses right now that will be easier to digest for my system. And then I'm adding in more fruits and more vegetables and more vitamins and fiber powders and all this stuff. And there's so much being added into my diet that I find there's no room for a lot of the stuff that I thought I would have a hard time leaving. And it's been really good. And so I think conscious smoking is going to be my next thing. That sounds so stupid. It really does. But like really being aware, because with this stupid fucking vape that hangs around my neck, which I probably need to stop wearing around my neck, to be perfectly honest. It's like a symbol of like the chain nicotine has on me. I think the more I can consciously smoke, the less often I may want to do it, because I'm trying to think, and I obviously I'm not doing that right now, but it's a concept that's hit me, and I'd like to work with it. What would conscious smoking look like for me? What would making it a sacrament look like? Maybe saying thank you with each inhale and exhale, and really thinking about what is the reason I want to smoke this rather than just acting, right? With all of my addictions. And so with how easy, surprisingly easy it has been to forego coffee for over a week now, by just adding in tea to my morning instead, I find, it's been a smooth journey, smoother than I thought. Not that I haven't wanted coffee, but I haven't craved it. I haven't felt like I need it. And that has been beautiful for me. And that is the place I would like to get with my other vice, which is nicotine. And so, yeah, I just wanted to make a little video talking about how we can find beautiful, universal truths for humanity and life in itself, and our own spiritual nature, in the simplest of things, like walking your son to school in the snow. Something that I wasn't stoked about. I'm not gonna lie, I hate the snow. It's not fun. It's cold, and I am perpetually cold, so cold outside does me no good. But yeah, just I I'm not sure how to get there. It just kind of came to me. So I think I will keep just trying to be open. And I've been working on silencing my mind. When we notice those thoughts happening, remember that you're the one noticing them. So those thoughts aren't you, right? Sure, it's in your head, but are you really your head, or are you more? And I think we're much more. We are the observer, right? And the participant. And so it's a bit tricky coming to an understanding that we are both, yet one. And this is, again, that thing I've been talking about for the last month or two about the unity of duality. And so though we are two very opposite beings, both spiritual and physical, we are one in being both of them. And so, yeah, I just kind of wanted to share this little bit of what felt like wisdom to me. I don't know if anyone will find anything wise in it or not, but yeah, I felt like I needed to share it because it was really beautiful and it's made me smile. And I think that I'm going to have a really good day because of it. So, yeah, I hope everyone else has a really great day. Bye.